Parents pretended to cancel family vacation. Let's do it sometime, they said. Okay, I said, and was at home. Next day, I saw my sister post. All family is on vacation together. Then I was looking forward to this trip more than anything. A Christmas vacation in the Maldives with my family. What could be better? We had planned everything down to the last detail. Flights were booked months in advance. Hotels were confirmed, and we had even talked about the activities we wanted to do together. Snorkeling, boat rides, just relaxing on the beach. It was going to be perfect. The plan was simple. We'd all meet at my parents' house the night before to go over the final details. I packed my bags, double-checked my passport, and even took the day off from work. This wasn't some last-minute thing. We'd all been talking about it for months. I even helped pay for some of it because my sister and her husband, Jake, were struggling financially. That night, I was just about to head over when I got a text from my mom. "Hey honey, something came up. We have to cancel the trip." "Sorry. We'll do it another time." I froze. "What?" We had planned this for so long, and now they were canceling at the last minute. I called immediately. My dad picked up. His voice was calm, too calm, like it was no big deal. I asked what happened, and he gave me some vague excuse about unexpected business and how they just couldn't go right now. I didn't get it. They were both retired. "What business?" I asked about Rose and Jake. Were they canceling too? There was the slightest pause, almost nothing, but I caught it. Then he said, "Yeah, they're not going either." I was frustrated, but I tried not to show it. Maybe something really serious had come up. I asked if they were okay, if something had happened, but he brushed it off. He just said it was bad timing, and we'd reschedule. I sighed. What could I say? I was disappointed. But I wasn't going to argue. I said okay, hung up, and started unpacking my bag. The next morning, I woke up, made some coffee, and scrolled absent-mindedly through my phone. That's when I saw it. A message from Rose. At first, I thought I was seeing things. A picture of the ocean. Crystal clear water stretching endlessly under a bright blue sky. White sand, palm trees swaying in the breeze. Then a second image. My sister, Jake, and my parents, all together, smiling, drinks in hand. The caption, "The whole family on vacation together." I felt my whole body go cold. I blinked, reading it over and over, waiting for my brain to catch up. My stomach churned. My heart was pounding. I could hear my blood rushing in my ears. They were in the Maldives. They were gone without me. And they had lied right to my face. I just sat there staring at my phone, trying to process what I was seeing. My parents, my sister, Jake. All of them on the trip we had planned together. The one they canceled at the last minute. The one I was supposed to go on. I flipped through the pictures again. They weren't just there. They were having the time of their lives. Sunset dinners, cocktails by the pool, boat rides. Rose even posted a video of my dad laughing as he tried to balance on a paddleboard before falling into the water. My mom commented, "Best family trip ever," with a bunch of heart emojis. I felt sick. I didn't even know what to do. Should I call her? Comment below the post? I wanted to explode, but I didn't. I just locked my phone and sat in silence. There must be some explanation, I told myself. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe they thought I couldn't make it for some reason. Maybe. No. There was no way. They were lying. They looked me in the face, and they lied. And for what? Why leave me behind? I tried to push it out of my mind, but the anger sat in my chest like a weight. Christmas Eve came, and I spent it alone in my apartment. I had already taken time off work for the trip, so I had nothing to do. No plans, no family, no one to be with. The only person who came by was my friend Ryan, who stopped by that night to check on me after I told him what had happened. We had a few drinks, watched a stupid Christmas movie, but after he left it was just me. 11 days. 11 days of scrolling past her vacation posts. 11 days of my mom gushing about how magical the Maldives were. 11 days of them pretending I didn't exist. When they got back, I wasn't just angry. I was done. I texted Rose, told her to meet me at Mom and Dad's house that night. No explanations. She just replied, "Okay." When I arrived, they were all there, sitting in the living room as if nothing had happened. My mother smiled when she saw me. My dad nodded. Rose looked up from her cell phone. Jake barely looked at me. It was like I was the one who had been gone for 11 days. I sat down, looked at them, took a breath. Then I asked the only thing that mattered. "Why?" My mom blinked. "Why what, honey?" I almost laughed. Almost. Why did you lie to me? Why did you tell me the trip was canceled and then go without me? The room went silent. I watched their expressions change. My mom's smile faltered. My dad exhaled through his nose as if trying to decide what to say. Rose bit her lip. Then finally my dad spoke. "Well, we just thought you'd be busy, you know, work and all." I stared at him. I had taken time off. I had packed my bags. I was literally ready to leave when they texted me. My mom chimed in. "And we didn't want you to feel pressured to pay for Rose and Jake again. You helped them a lot, and we didn't want to burden you." My head snapped to my sister. She didn't even look at me. They thought I was busy? They didn't want me to feel burdened? So instead of asking me, "You just shut me out, lied to me, left me alone for Christmas?" Now Rose spoke. "It's not like that. We just thought you wouldn't mind sitting this one out. You've traveled a lot, but we've never done a trip like this." I actually felt dizzy. I had paid for most of her travels, helped her whenever she needed it, paid her rent when she and Jake were struggling, and now she was acting like I was hoarding vacations. I looked at Jake, who was still silent. He was just sitting there with his arms crossed, letting Rose and my parents handle it. I decided I was done making excuses. I leaned back, crossed my arms, and let them drop. "Well, if you can afford a vacation for 4, I guess you don't need my help anymore. I'm done paying for Rose and Jake. They're on their own now." That got her attention. My mom gasped. My dad's eyes widened. Rose's head snapped up so fast I thought she'd get whiplash. Even Jake's expression finally changed. His mouth opened as if to say something, but he didn't. Mom jumped in first. Wait. Honey, you promised to help them when we asked you. You said you'd support them." Dad nodded. "That's not fair, son. They're young, trying to get on their feet. You always said family helps family." I let out a breath. I was actually impressed. They weren't even denying what they were doing anymore. They had completely skipped over the part about betraying me and gone straight to calling me unfair. I stood up. "I have to go." I grabbed my coat and walked out. The next morning, my phone exploded. When I say my phone exploded, I mean it was like a digital war zone. Calls, texts, voicemails, even emails. Rose was the first to blow up my phone. "You're seriously cutting us off over a vacation? You're being dramatic. We didn't do anything that bad. Mom and Dad are freaking out. Thank you very much." Then Jake. "Man, let's talk. No need to make a big deal out of this." Then my mom. "Honey, please don't be rash. We love you. Let's talk as a family." And finally my dad, who made it short. "Call me now." I ignored every one of them. Then something even crazier happened. Around noon, I got a message from my bank. A large transaction had been attempted from my account. At first, I thought it was fraud. I called my bank, ready to dispute the charge, but when I asked for details, my stomach sank. It wasn't fraud. It was Rose. She had been trying to transfer money from my account to hers. I could feel my pulse in my ears. How the hell did she even have access? Then I remembered. A few months earlier, she had been in financial trouble and had asked me to help her with the rent. Since she was so bad with money, I had set up an account for her bills and given her limited access. It was supposed to be temporary, but apparently she had decided to help herself. I immediately locked everything down, changed passwords, removed her access, and blocked her from everything. Less than an hour later, my phone rang again. My parents. I finally picked it up. My mom's voice was frantic. "Harry, what's going on? Rose just called us sobbing, saying you froze her accounts and she can't pay the rent." I laughed. Actually laughed. "She can't pay rent? Maybe she should have thought of that before she stole from me." Mom gasped. "Stealing?" She said it was all a misunderstanding. "She thought you were still helping her out by transferring thousands of dollars without asking. She was desperate, Harry, and you've always helped her before." I closed my eyes and breathed deeply. "Not anymore." My father's voice came through, sharp and frustrated. "You're being stubborn. You know she and Jake are having problems. Is this really about the trip? Or are you just looking for a reason to leave your family?" I almost crushed my phone in my hand. I spoke slowly, making sure they heard every word. "You abandoned me. You left me alone at Christmas. You lied to me. Then Rose tried to steal from me. And I'm the one who leaves you?" Silence. Then my father exhaled. "You're punishing all of us for one mistake." "One mistake?" I let out a bitter laugh. "You know what? You're right. It was a mistake. My mistake. I spent years being the good son, paying for everything, being responsible, helping everyone. And where did it get me? Alone at Christmas, while my family celebrated without me. So yeah, I'm fixing my mistake. I'm done." I hung up before they could respond, but the mess was far from over. I thought that was the end of it. I had made my point. I was done being the family purse, done with their excuses, done with it all. But my family, they weren't done with me. The next morning, I woke up to a text message from an unknown number. "You're disgusting. After all they've done for you, this is how you repay them?" I frowned. Who was this? Before I could even think about replying, another one came in. "Ungrateful little prick. Your sister needed help, and you turned your back on her. I hope you're alone." By this time, I was fully awake, my heart pounding. I had no idea who it was, but I had a hunch. Jake. I pulled up Rose's social media. Sure enough, there it was. A long, dramatic post about how her cold-hearted brother abandoned his family right after Christmas, and how she and Jake were about to lose everything because I had selfishly taken away the financial support they depended on. The comments were filled with sympathy. Friends, extended family, even some people I barely knew, chimed in with messages like, "Wow, I didn't know your brother was like that," and "Family should always come first." Then I saw it. One of my aunts had replied, asking why I would do something so harsh. Rose's answer: "He just got jealous that we went on vacation without him and decided to punish us." I actually had to put my phone down. I was furious. I had helped them for years. Paid their rent when they struggled, covered their bills when they couldn't, helped Rose fix her car, paid off one of Jake's loans, and now she was making me look like the bad guy. I wasn't going to let this go. I opened the comments and typed, "Let's be clear. Rose and Jake stole from me. She tried to take thousands out of my account, without my permission, after lying to me and leaving me alone on Christmas. I have the bank records to prove it." You want to talk about family? When you steal from your own brother, go ahead and tell everyone the truth, Rose. I then posted screenshots of the failed wire transfer. Within minutes, the post exploded. Some people immediately switched sides and called Rose out. Others were in shock. A few people still tried to defend her, saying the family should work things out privately, but by then the damage was done. Then a message from Rose herself appeared in my inbox. "What the fuck is wrong with you? Delete this now." I didn't. Instead, I texted her directly. "Don't ever contact me again." Then I blocked her. An hour later, my mother called. I answered, already knowing what was coming. Her voice was shaking. "Harry, you humiliated your sister. Why would you do this to her?" I let out a short laugh. "You mean, why would I tell the truth? The truth that she had no problem lying about? She was desperate. She didn't know what to do. She knew exactly what to do. And so did you, when you let me pay for her and Jake for years while she never even tried to stand on her own. Mom sniffled. You're tearing this family apart. I clenched my jaw. No, Mom. You did it when you left me behind. I put the phone down before she could say another word. Then I blocked her too. I thought blocking them would bring me some peace, but I underestimated just how desperate my family could get when money was on the line. The next morning, I woke up to a knock on my door. I wasn't expecting anyone, and after the past few days, I already had a bad feeling. I checked the peephole. It was my dad. I sighed, debating whether to just ignore it, but he knocked again, louder this time. Harry, open up, we need to talk. I hesitated for a second, then opened the door. He walked in like he owned the place, not even waiting for an invitation. I closed the door behind him. What do you want? He turned to face me, arms crossed. This has gone far enough. You're making things harder than they need to be. I almost laughed. I'm making things harder? Dad, Rose literally tried to steal from me. She made a mistake. A mistake? Or did she assume I'd never notice? He waved a hand, brushing it off. Look, she's panicking. You humiliated her. You should have kept this private. You mean I should have let her lie about me while everyone called me the bad guy? He exhaled sharply, clearly frustrated. This isn't about that anymore. Your mother hasn't stopped crying since you blocked her. Your sister and Jake are in serious trouble. They might lose their apartment. I folded my arms. Not my problem. It is your problem, he shot back. You said you'd help them. You promised. I stared at him. And you said we were all going on a family vacation. Guess we're both liars. His jaw tightened. That's different. Is it? I asked. Because from where I'm standing, you all made it very clear I don't matter to this family unless I'm paying for something. He scoffed. That's not true. Isn't it? I gestured around my apartment. You left me alone on Christmas. You didn't even feel bad about it. You didn't even check on me. But the second Rose is in trouble, you're at my door demanding I fix it. What was this energy when I was the one you screwed over? He didn't answer right away. For a moment he just looked at me, his face unreadable. Then finally he sighed. You're right. I blinked. I hadn't expected that. You're right, he repeated. We should have told you. We should have invited you. We hurt you, and that was wrong. I didn't say anything, but he continued. That doesn't change the fact that we're still family, and family helps each other no matter what. I clenched my jaw. That's funny, because when I needed family, no one was there. His face hardened again. You're being petty. I exhaled slowly. No, Dad. I'm done being a bank. I'm done being used. I'm done with all of this. He took a deep breath, like he was preparing himself for something. Then he spoke, his tone shifting. If you don't help them, they're going to be homeless. I shrugged. They should have thought about that before blowing money on a luxury vacation. His expression darkened. You're not as heartless as you're pretending to be, Harry. I know you. You knew me. The son who bent over backward for this family, he doesn't exist anymore. He stared at me for a long moment. Then, to my shock, he actually laughed. You know, he said, shaking his head, I never thought you'd be so selfish after everything we've done for you. I felt my hands curl into fists. Done for me? Like what? Abandoning me on Christmas? Lying to me? Taking my money? He gave me a look so cold it sent a chill down my spine. You'll regret this. I raised an eyebrow. Was that a threat? He didn't answer. He just turned around and walked out, slamming the door behind him. I stood there for a moment, heart pounding. I had no idea what was coming next, but I knew it wasn't over. That conversation with my dad was the last straw. I was done. Done with the lies. Done with the guilt trips. Done with being nothing more than a wallet to them. I sat down that night and made a decision. I was getting out. A new city. A fresh start. Away from all of them. I had been thinking about moving for a while anyway, but this sealed it. The next day, I started looking at jobs in other cities. By the end of the week, I had interviews lined up. A month later, I had a new job, a new apartment, and a one-way ticket out of town. And I never looked back. At first, it felt surreal waking up in a place where no one expected anything from me. No constant calls from my mom, no emergency money requests from Rose, no guilt tripping from my dad. Just peace. And then the unexpected started happening. One night, I ended up at a small bar near my new place, just wanting to unwind after work. I struck up a conversation with a guy next to me. Nothing deep, just casual talk. Turns out he worked in my field and knew a guy who could hook me up with an even better job. A few months later, I was making more money than I ever had before. Then one weekend, I joined a local hiking group on a whim. Met some incredible people, made real friends, people who liked me for me, not for what I could do for them. And the biggest surprise? Love. I met someone completely by accident. I had dropped my coffee outside a bookstore, and she had laughed, handing me some napkins. One conversation led to another, then a date, then another. She was different from anyone I had ever known. Kind, independent, and completely uninterested in anything I had materially. She liked me for me. For the first time in my life, I felt free. Meanwhile, my family, they tried reaching out a few times. My mom left voicemails. Rose sent an apology text, which I ignored. And even my dad softened after a while. But by then, I had moved on. I wasn't angry anymore. I just didn't care. Sometimes people say blood is thicker than water, but I learned something else. Peace is priceless, and I was never giving mine up again.